Good morning, everyone. It is just past 10 o'clock in the morning, getting my day started, and I want to start things off on a language learning tip, or a little mini language learning tip. The tip is that you need to make it a habit. Like I've noticed, more and more that people who have a habit and have maintained specific habits of studying languages a little bit every single day tend to see a lot of progress. So even if it's something simple like I'm gonna learn 2 new words every single day, or I'm gonna learn 1 new grammar point every single day, I'm gonna wake up and write down like 5 things that I learned yesterday, or I'm gonna make a video or an audio or whatever in a whatever language once a day, or whatever it is. You need the habit. Works really well. When I was living in China last year, that was a really big thing for me. I was really trying to improve my character memorization, and what I would do is every single night, just before going to sleep, and every single morning, right when I woke up. It's actually how I put myself to sleep and wake myself up every single day. I would do a bunch of flashcards for Chinese characters. That was my routine, and those routines, whatever it is, doesn't fully matter what it is, but whatever that language learning routine is, it's everything. That's one of the most important keys, and I realized that I haven't talked about it in a while, so I thought we'd get on the camera, say it first thing in this post here, and yeah.
There must be more to life than this. Reaching for the stars, traveling so far, like a dragonfly. Just grab my hand from heaven send. With me tonight, I run away.
It is now 2:40 p.m. 2:20 p.m. excuse me, and I have a 40-minute gap before my next lesson starts. So I'm gonna have some lunch here. Check it out, egg curry. And I wanted to throw, thanks Grandma for the egg curry, by the way. I think she watches my vlogs from time to time, so Grandma, thank you. Anyway, I wanted to throw a quick little language learning tip at you guys, which is, in my perspective, I think you need to have some sort of accountability system. What I mean by that is you need something to hold you accountable to actually studying and putting the time in that is required to actually learn whatever language you are learning. So for example, myself, one way that I have chosen to implement this in my life is with Mandarin. I have an intermediate-ish level in Mandarin, and so I've started to teach basic Mandarin for low cost or sometimes no cost. And what that does is it forces me, number 1, to continue using my Mandarin on a regular basis. Number 2, what it does is that it makes me be on top of my game. Because if I'm going to teach something to a beginner in Mandarin, if I want to teach them something, I have to know that concept very, very well, right? Because otherwise the student I'm teaching is going to be like, what the heck, do you not know your stuff? You said you could teach me this. And they're going to call me out on it, or at least I think they will, and some people might, right? And so that keeps me accountable. Also, these students, my students, are then going to ask me questions to go, Azren, how about blah, 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 blah in Mandarin? And I might not know the answer. So that's going to force me to go and study it on my own time to learn it so that I can teach it to my student. So that me having some students for Mandarin, not that many, but a couple, having some students for Mandarin keeps me accountable to continuing to develop, continuing to push forward my Mandarin. So you need to have some sort of accountability for yourself. Whatever that is, you need to find one that keeps you accountable. It's super, super, super key.
Please guys, you gotta keep them away. There's too many fans. Her name is Shakira.
When you take a selfie with a girl, you gotta go this way, okay?
And that makes me think of something which is about music. If you look at the whole, population of language learners, there are so many people who find value in listening to music as a way to learn a different language. AKA, they're learning Mandarin, they listen to Mandarin music. They're learning French, you listen to French music, etc., etc. And I think one of the reasons why this works so well is that when you are listening to music, it is an enjoyable way to engage or to interact with that language. It's not dry, it's not boring, such as like potentially a language class or whatever, right? Or like some Rosetta Stone, things like that. It's fun. And because of that, you're more likely to actually put in the work and put in the time and the effort to actually go learn the language. For example, I'm listening to this Chinese song I just played for you guys, a Mandarin song, right? That song, I don't understand a lot of the lyrics. I would say I don't understand most of the lyrics, right? However, because I like the song, I watch the video with the lyrics. I'll be like, what are the characters? Oh, I catch a little bit more, right? Or maybe I'll listen to it and be like, what the heck? I really want to understand the chorus. And I'll go look up the chorus on Google or on some dictionaries, things like that. And then it helps you learn because you want to. There's a reason to do it. You like it, you're interested, etc. So I think that's something that's a really big thing. I talk about it a lot, but I want to come back to it again because it's so freaking important. In my opinion, in my perspective, you really have to be attacking or approaching whatever language you're learning in a way that actually catches your interest. That is, it's such a key fundamental that I think oftentimes is something that gets overlooked. So true, right? So true.